Okay, so now let's look at part 3. The other one was part 1, but we decided to divide it a little bit to make it 1 and 3, so meaning that this is now part 3 and 4. But first let's work on the initial bit of 3. So we're done with shop item, the shop item domain, and how to structure our data. Now let's go ahead and see how we can model our user. Now remember the user, we have 3 users. We have admin user, who is responsible for entire system. Then we have the customer, who is the client, comes to the website and buys items, and then they are delivered to his place. Then we have an agent, who in this case can work as a support agent, who will be probably doing some support, replying some questions from the clients, stuff like that. So let's go ahead, under the domain, right click, because it is still a domain also, new. We're going to be creating a new Java class called this time it's user, just user. Okay, so we can see now we've created the user domain, but like we said, we have to annotate this with entity, just like it's done in panache, and then extend this the panache entity class. Okay, and then now we can start with the columns. You can look at the columns that we want to include. Columns, yes. So the first column, now that we are on user, we can say the username. It's public, of course. Public, it's a string, that's its data type, and then username. A username is one word, that's why I'm writing it like this. Control copy the same thing. Then after the username, we can go for email. This guy is going to be having an email. Okay, then after email, we would want this guy to have a password. Password, probably what he's going to use for signing in, that's email and password. Then his username will be also part of the system. So we have another string, which is kind of an image, like we said. This time we're just going to save it as a URL. So we're going to call it a user, or just call it a profile pic. Something like that, because that's how we had designed it initially. Let's check to see whether we still have username, email, password, and user profile pic. Then we can also add the role, because we need to know, as the user is signing in, we need to know, is this an agent, or an admin, or just a mere customer coming to the website to buy items. So remember, we're going to be using the same login, so that's why we're interested in knowing who is signing in by using the role based. So we're going to be using role, okay, to differentiate between that. So now that we are done with modeling, I think now we can take use of the empty constructors and also the getters and setters. But there's a quick way to do this in Java, or in IntelliJ. I presume you're using IntelliJ or any other IDE. But if you're not using IntelliJ or any other IDE, you can go ahead and do them manually, of course, or you can just come here, then control, it's actually out, enter. Okay, so we have public. It is actually now an empty. This will be an empty constructor. In the next constructor is where we're going to be having most of what we're going to use. So we're going to define our parameters, user, and yeah. So what we have here, so you will find that we have username, which is a string. So we have first define it, string, username, comma, and we have a string. After that, we shall have to declare the getters and setters, email, okay, then we have string, password, okay, then last thing we have string, yeah, we have profile pic, then next we have string, role. So role happens to be the last one. Okay, and inside here we shall be having set as follows. So this dot username will be automatically assigned to username. Okay, then this dot we can go for password, will be assigned to, but now for password is a little bit different because we shall be using the byte crypt or encryption code to encrypt it back to the database. Then we never want it to decrypt it directly from the database. So let's work on this. We can say role equals to role. We can go ahead and say this dot email is equal to email. Okay, so what else? Username, email, password done, profile pic. This dot profile pic is equal to profile pic, and then now remaining we will have role, username, our email, and profile pic. For password, just be we have to see that in the later tutorials because it will be an encrypted byte script. So for the getters and setters, we can do them as fast as possible, but I think I'll have to push this in the next tutorial of the getters and setters. So see you in the next one.